Asking people out is a nerve-wracking activity. Like, unless you just got it like that. And I ain't never met someone who had it like that. Well, anyone who has it like that usually doesn't have to ask anyone out. They usually just wait to be approached. Now, I was gonna have some advice in this video about asking people out. I ain't got none. Literally, I can't tell you why any woman I've ever talked to has responded positively to me asking them out. I don't know what the common denominator is. Delusion, I guess. I guess the only thing I can think of is I just be doing me. If someone's into you, you won't really have to do much to get them to go on a date with you. And if they're not into you, there's not really much you can do to change that. Doesn't mean anything's wrong with you, you're just not for them. Now that last part probably sucks to hear and is even tougher to accept, but once you do accept it, a certain peace settles over you about this kind of stuff. That's really all the advice I have for you. Let's get into the stories. High schools are one of the most concentrated areas of attempted shots in the world. Second only to 35-year-old niggas who never moved out of the city they went to college in and are still showing up to these college parties trying to flex they own a car and an apartment to a bunch of 18 and 19-year-olds. I had a few homegirls in high school, and they really showed me that if you ask a girl out or ask a girl anything really, and it's not a hard yes, it's really a no. The amount of times the friend group would be hanging at the lunch table and a guy would come up to one of the homegirls and ask him out, they'd go, yes. And as soon as the dude walks away, she turned around and go, oh my God, I didn't actually want to say yes. He just showed up so suddenly and was in front of everyone. And I guess I didn't want to embarrass him by saying no. And oh my God, you're right, you've been working. And I guess that's another piece of advice. If you're going to ask someone out, especially if you're younger, try to do it in a one-on-one setting if you manage to get them by themselves, or even text if that's your only option. Best case scenario, they don't feel compelled one way or another, because I've definitely seen girls pressure their homegirls to accept advances from a guy that in their head, the guy and their homegirl go together. And worst case scenario, no one else is around to see your rejection. I mean, her friends and her friends' friends are probably still gonna hear about it, but people hearing about something after the fact and witnessing the event are two different things entirely. Plus, a lot of women, especially young women, have this funny way of thinking where they think saying no to you asking them out in front of everyone is so mean and embarrassing for you, but saying yes and getting you all excited thinking you scored after working up the courage to put your heart out there, then sending one of her homeboys to you and your group of friends immediately after and having to tell you the truth because they're too scared to, and leaving you there in the dust and despair in the form of the loud ass laughs of your homeboys who saw you get crushed in front of them. That may be based on a true event. But still, there's worse ways to get rejected, because I can understand someone being shy or not knowing how to properly handle a situation, but ultimately trying to spare your feelings. But people who don't give a single shit about your feelings, whole nother monster. So I moved around a lot, right? In elementary school and middle school, because my mom's an educator and we live in North Carolina, where educators do not make a lot of money. So you kind of have to go where the money is. So that resulted in me going to a bunch of elementary schools and middle schools across North Carolina. So I went to this one school in my hometown like 3 times. Once in kindergarten, left, came back like halfway through 2nd grade, all of 3rd grade, left and came back for the last bit of 6th grade. There was this girl who was there in 3rd grade who I thought was cute, but I didn't really say anything because I was like 8 or 9 and was embarrassed to be liking girls, I guess. Anyway, when I came back in 6th grade, she was still there. And one day we're all in like language arts or something. She's in one group, I'm in another. I really don't remember how it led up to this, but someone asked me if I liked her. And I didn't really answer, but when someone's asking you a question like that, a non-answer is really just confirmation. Looking back, I feel like it was on some low-key racist shit because me and her were one of the only 2 black kids in the grade. Because they only asked me about her. Anyway, the whole table starts doing that ooh shit, and one of the girls runs to the table she's at to tell her. And I'm just sitting there, head in my hands, already embarrassed. Then the girl that went and told her comes back with a folded piece of paper. I unfolded it and it read, "She told me what you said. Leave me alone. I don't like you. P.S. You're kinda ugly." Now I feel like I was already prepared to accept that she didn't like me back. I honestly probably already knew. I was a little shit back in 6th grade. I was always trying to be funny and I wasn't. I was just annoying. I completely understood that. But to have it in written form, hand delivered to me, notarized, I see her lawyer's signature at the bottom next to hers. Oh, that crushed me on a different level. But again, we were like 11 years old. It wasn't like I was in love with her or anything. By the next week, I was pretty much over it. Now, I've been on the other end of rejection. Like, I've had to break a few hearts in my day, But I have a problem where I really don't get approached like that too often. So when I do, I don't have any protocols in place for it. Like, my brain just like blue screens. In like 10th grade, I had a homegirl that I was feeling, right? Like, it was one of those, like, all the homies knew, right? I had a plan to ask her out that I was working up to. It was like a 42-step plan, and I was still on step like 14. One day we're in class and she's showing me a picture of her room, and she had like redone her whole room and she got like a new bed and everything. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And she goes, yeah, my bed is so big. Now I just need someone with me in it to cuddle with. Do you want to? And it took me like 30 seconds to understand the question. And I just started stuttering. Like, I got hit with every emotion at once. I was excited, anxious, happy, and angry at myself. Literally in my head, I'm screaming at myself to say yes, but I really didn't know what to say because this is literally the first time I had ever been asked out like that. And she did it so directly and in my face and right there. Like, this is literally like a dream scenario for most dudes. Like, the girl you want directly telling you they want you first. Then after a minute of me stuttering around, she goes, oh, it's okay. You just don't like me like that. It's not a problem. We're friends. We should stay that way. And in that moment, all I could say was, I'm sorry. And I tried to text her later and explain myself, and I really did want to be with her and all this stuff, but I think she thought I was just saying that out of pity for her and didn't believe me. So I guess I accidentally rejected her. Now, I hated myself before that moment, right? After I became my own arch nemesis, I kicked myself for years after that. So that was an accidental rejection. But there's been a few times where I definitely intentionally rejected a girl. Towards the end of 9th grade, I was in driver's ed. I remember on the first day of class, I was one of the last people to walk into the classroom, and there was only a few seats left. And one of the seats is in the back, and two of my friends are in front and next to the seat. Prime seat real estate. So I sit down, and I don't know how driver's ed was for people in other schools, but for us, it was real easy. Like, there wasn't too much to talk about. Like, most of the stuff we learned, I really already knew. There was a lot of downtime in that class. Now, on the other side of my seat, there was this random girl sitting in it. She started talking to me, and I found out she was a junior and had already failed driver's ed twice. She told me if I needed help with anything, I could ask her. Now, I think I knew what she was trying to do, but I was just trying to be nice because she hadn't really done or said anything rude to me. You're probably thinking, oh, here this nigga go again. Another girl clearly flirting with him, basically throwing it at him, and he's fumbling. Nah, this is not that. Now, I'm not gonna do her dirty. She really didn't do too much wrong in this story to deserve all that. So I'm gonna leave it at, I was not attracted to this girl at all. Now, I was trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. She didn't seem like she had really any friends, and maybe she was just excited someone was having a real conversation with her because no one else was really talking to her in this class. She asked for my number. I counter with my Snapchat, which I feel like is a very clear indicator on someone's intentions. If you ask for their number and they respond with their social media, that's like the most obvious, not obvious curve to me. Because having someone added on your social media and having their phone number is way different. Social media is for everyone. It's like the general open Wi-Fi in a hotel. Any Joe Smo walking past can connect, but the number is like the Wi-Fi that's only for the employees, you feel me? And you need a password to get into. It's like only people past a certain level can get in there. Anyway, she has my snap and she starts sending me snaps right away. I mean, like, if I respond to one of them, she's responding back within 30 seconds max. That first night after getting my snap, she sent me like 30 snaps overnight while I slept. No joke. I see all these in the morning when I wake up and I just tap through all of them and I don't respond because I really don't have anything to say. I've never dealt with anyone doing this to me before or since. That afternoon when I get into driver's ed, she's really pissed at me for not responding. And by this point, I've told all my friends in the class what happened and they think it's hilarious, so they're all giggling at me. I really don't know how to handle this, so I just turn around and start talking to my friend Katie, who thinks this is the funniest thing she's ever seen. The girl quickly gets over her anger. I guess she kind of figured I don't really have to talk to her, so catching an attitude with me over her being crazy is not gonna get her anywhere. So she apologizes, and I accept the apology, because again, I'm trying to be nice. Then she goes right back to snapping me. Now, she's snapping me in the middle of class. Driver's ed was easy, but I didn't want to miss anything when the instructor was talking because I really wanted to get my permit so I could get my license right when I turned 16. So when she snapped me, if I didn't immediately pick up the phone and respond, I'd hear, psst, psst, Jerron. I look over at her and she'd go, I snapped you. And I'd open it. And if I didn't open it, she'd get louder and go, are you gonna open it? And people in class would start looking at us. So she has me locked while we're in class, being forced to respond to her so I wouldn't get embarrassed by her yelling at me and everybody would know the situation. But everyone kind of figured it out anyway because this girl was not subtle at all. Honestly, my friends probably told everyone what was happening because they were really tickled by this shit. Even the driver's ed instructor caught on to it. And bless her soul, she helped me out so much. Whenever old girl would start that pss, pss shit, she go, hey, stop talking in my class, stop distracting everyone else, and she'd be quiet for a little while. Then one day in class, the instructor had left to go to the bathroom or something. I hear my phone buzz. I look down, it's a Snap notification, and I can feel her eyes on me. So I open up the phone and I click on Snap, and it's a picture of her face with the caption, "Will you be my boyfriend?" I look up and she's looking at me wide-eyed like Nala was looking at Pumbaa in them bushes. And I realize now this is mean, but as soon as I look up, in a millisecond I see her looking at me, I go, oh no. It was almost a reflex. Like I was saying it before I even realized what I was saying, you know? And I quickly regain my composure and I tell her I'm not really trying to be her boyfriend. I think we should just be friends. And she actually takes it very well. No one else in class heard this, so it wasn't like either of us got embarrassed. All good. Then I told my friends in the class what happened, and to them, it was the pinnacle of comedy. I honestly probably should have kept it to myself given what happened next. Now, my friend Katie really thought it was hilarious. And Katie was one of those girls that was really just flirty all the time. Like she'd be constantly going, oh, we're in love and let's get married on some joking shit, you know? So the next day in class, Katie is like all over me because she thinks it's funny that old girl is getting jealous, like looking at us, right? Like Katie's grabbing my hand, calling me baby and all that, just messing with that girl. I told her she should chill, but you know, I already knew she wasn't going to because she thought it was too funny. So halfway through the class, we get like a 20-minute break to use the bathroom or whatever. Most of us use the break to go get snacks from the vending machine out in the hallway. So we're on the 20-minute break and a girl comes out of the classroom and me and Katie are talking to one of our other friends. Katie sees her and starts again. She grabs my hand and reaches up and kisses me on the cheek and starts saying all this shit. Oh, I love you, Jerron. You're gonna be my baby daddy and all this shit, right? Whatever. This happened so quickly, I didn't even realize the girl was in the hallway, but Katie's not even looking at me when she's saying all this shit. I look to where she's looking and this girl is standing in the middle of the hallway. She is staring daggers at me, like killing intent stare. And then she starts, oh, I thought you said you didn't want a girlfriend. I asked you out and you're gonna lie to me like that? You think I'm stupid? You think I wouldn't notice? You and her together? Why would you lie to me? She is snapping on me in the middle of the hallway. I look around, everyone is staring at me, and everyone is starting to laugh at me. Now I'm getting mad because I'm getting yelled at and embarrassed in front of everyone, and I was just trying to be nice to the girl, and this is the price I paid for it. So while she's snapping on me, I yell over her, I ain't say I ain't want a girlfriend. I said I don't want you as my girlfriend. And if everyone was giggling before that, they was dying in the hallway after that. My friends are doubled over. I look over at Katie, she got tears in her eyes. The girl has tears in her eyes too now, but not in the same way. She's looking around. I guess she finally realized that everyone was hearing our conversation. She really starts crying and runs into the bathroom. Now, later on, I felt bad she got embarrassed, but in that moment, I was so mad that she was yelling and embarrassing me in front of everyone. I did not care at all. And she did not talk to me for the rest of driver's ed. I told this story to friends later on in life, and a lot of them asked me why I would even feel bad. And I guess I feel bad for her because I've been in a kind of similar situation. I mean, I didn't harass a girl or nothing, but it's definitely been a situation where I got laughed at in front of everyone. It was 7th grade. We were on a class field trip to something. I don't know. It was like 13 years ago. I don't really remember the trip. I just remember the bus ride back because that's where it took place. There was this girl in my class, Tanya, who I was feeling, and I felt like she was feeling me. On the bus ride back, she's like, oh, you can sit next to me. So in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm in there, right? So I started beating around the bush in the conversation, trying to slowly work up the courage to ask her to be my girlfriend, which in 7th grade is the same as a marriage proposal pretty much. There was this kid in my class, BJ, and he was sitting in the seat in front of us. Apparently he was listening in. He just stands up, turns around and yells real loud, you trying to ask out Tanya? Yells it out for the whole bus to hear. And all the guys on the bus around us start laughing and clowning me. I mean everything. Ron, you ugly as shit. Why would she want to blah, 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 blah. I'm about as mean as a bunch of 8th graders could ever be, which is Brady mean. I look over at Tanya, she's just giggling it up. So, you know, my feelings are definitely hurt, but you can't really show that because it'll be 10 times worse if you get sad or start crying, right? That's not the end of the story either. I don't remember if BJ was the one that started the game, but I'm gonna say it was him. Who would you rather date? But they had a special twist on this fateful day. Would you rather date this person or Jerron? And one by one, they went to every girl on the bus and asked if they'd rather date me or some other guy on the bus. And literally every girl said they'd rather date the other guy than me. All of them. Well, except Tanya. I remember when they got to her, she was so overcome with laughter, she couldn't even answer the question. I held it together in the moment. I laughed it off and all that, and eventually the topic switched to something else. But when I got home that evening, I locked myself in the bathroom and silently cried for like 30 minutes. Oh man, this story ended on a darker note than I expected. Now I'm telling it again. But you know, that's just kids, man. They can be pretty mean. But it did kind of start me on the path to not have my self-worth tied to how others view me, right? Still working on it, but I'm a lot better now than I was in 7th grade. So yeah, that's the end. I appreciate you guys so much for the love on my last video. You know, it's something I just kind of threw together in a day. I didn't expect it to take off like it did, but you guys are showing so much love. I appreciate it. I'm definitely gonna try to get more of these type of videos out, but my other stuff, my gaming stuff, all the other stuff is still gonna happen. Right now, I'm kind of in between living situations right now. I'm not homeless, but you know, figuring it out. And once I get, you know, my own spot and I got it figured out, stuff will be coming out at a crazy consistent pace. So I appreciate you guys for showing love and all that. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Yeah, follow me on Instagram. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.
If I had stolen home, I'd have been the hero. Instead, I'm the goat.
Yo, you gotta go through it to grow through it. Letting deep cuts bleed out just won't do it. Not accepting all of my scars was so stupid. Had me with pain on the inside like bone bruises. Now I'm numb to it. Air dry the warrior's tears. Rub on it, they scared. I draw blood and then coast through it. We built different. My lady's bad. Your hoe's toothless. I'll drop your top and your drop top. Now you both ruthless. Mind blown, no evidence. You and detectives both clueless. Treat your dome like the glass ceiling and broke through it. I am the show, and I always show improving. Building you behind a fence, watching the home improvement. Brick by brick, I watch it decline. Step by step, it ain't